Picture this. You board a plane, find your seat, settle in, and just as the aircraft doors close, the flight attendant reminds you to switch your phone to airplane mode. Almost everyone complies, but very few stop to think about why this rule even exists. What is airplane mode really doing to your device, and what's the danger if you ignore it? Contrary to the common assumption, it's not because your phone will crash the plane if you leave it on. The truth is much more technical, fascinating, and a little surprising. Let's unravel why airplane mode exists and what actually happens when you turn it on. The real reason for airplane mode. Airplane mode exists primarily to prevent electronic interference. Your phone, tablet, or laptop constantly emits radio signals whenever it communicates with cell towers, Wi-Fi routers, or Bluetooth devices. These signals are harmless to people, but in theory, they can interfere with sensitive aircraft communication and navigation systems. Modern airplanes are heavily shielded, but decades ago when the rule was created, the technology wasn't as robust. Regulators chose caution over risk, and so the mandate was born. All personal electronics must be placed in airplane mode during flights. But there's another big reason beyond interference. At cruising altitude, usually above 30,000 feet, your phone is far out of range of normal cell towers. If it's not in airplane mode, it frantically searches for a signal, blasting out higher power transmissions as it tries to connect. This not only drains your battery incredibly fast, but it also puts unnecessary load on cellular networks below, which weren't designed to handle signals coming from phones moving hundreds of miles per hour through the sky. Airplane mode eliminates this issue by shutting off the phone's network-seeking behavior entirely. What actually happens when you turn it on? The moment you toggle airplane mode, your device essentially cuts off all its wireless radios. Cellular service is disabled, meaning you can't make calls, send texts, or use mobile data. Wi-Fi is also switched off, though many devices now allow you to manually turn Wi-Fi back on while keeping cellular disabled, since in-flight Wi-Fi systems are common. Bluetooth is typically disabled too, though in practice it can be re-enabled without causing any issues, which is why many airlines allow wireless headphones to be used. What remains active are the offline features of your phone or tablet. You can still listen to downloaded music, watch saved movies, play games that don't require internet, or type notes. The device is fully functional, it just isn't talking to the outside world. Think of airplane mode as a digital mute button for your phone's radios. The myth of interference. Many passengers believe that if you forget to switch on airplane mode, the plane's navigation could fail, or the pilots could lose communication with the ground. The truth is less dramatic. Modern aircraft are built with heavy shielding to protect critical systems from outside signals. A single phone left on won't bring a plane down. However, the combined effect of hundreds of devices could, at worst, create interference noise in the cockpit radios. Pilots have reported hearing faint buzzing sounds, similar to what you hear when a phone is placed near a speaker during takeoff or landing. While not catastrophic, it can be distracting at critical moments of flight. Aviation safety is built on redundancy and risk prevention, which is why the rule remains in place even today. Energy and battery impact. Another overlooked benefit of airplane mode is power saving. When your phone is desperately trying to reach towers at 30,000 feet, it's working overtime, pushing its antenna to maximum output. This drains the battery far faster than normal usage on the ground. By switching to airplane mode, you effectively put your device into a low-power state, extending your battery life. Travelers who need their devices to last through long flights often notice they land with far more charge if they kept airplane mode on, instead of letting the phone search endlessly for non-existent connections. The role of Wi-Fi on planes. The rise of in-flight Wi-Fi has changed the way airplane mode is applied. Instead of demanding complete disconnection, airlines now allow passengers to keep devices in airplane mode, but then manually enable Wi-Fi. Airplanes are equipped with special antennas that connect either to satellites in orbit or to towers on the ground, designed specifically for aviation use. This system provides internet access without relying on traditional cellular networks, avoiding interference and ensuring smooth connectivity even at high speeds. Some airlines also allow Bluetooth, especially for wireless headphones, because the power output of Bluetooth signals is so low that they pose no risk of interference. Regulations and standardization. Airplane mode is not just an airline preference, it's regulated. The Federal Aviation Administration in the United States and similar bodies worldwide enforce these rules. However, over time, these rules have been relaxed as technology improved. In the early 2000s, passengers were told to turn off all electronic devices completely, not just put them in airplane mode. Today, regulators accept that devices in airplane mode, or with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth selectively re-enabled, are safe. This evolution shows how the aviation industry balances safety with convenience while staying cautious about unknowns. What happens if you don't use airplane mode? If you forget or deliberately choose not to turn on airplane mode, the chances of anything serious happening are minimal. Your phone may continuously search for a signal and fail, draining its battery. It might also generate bursts of interference that could be faintly audible to pilots over their radios, though it won't disable navigation systems. Some airlines have onboard detection systems that can sense phones still trying to connect to towers, but in practice, most crew members simply rely on passenger compliance. The real consequence is less about safety and more about courtesy, avoiding unnecessary strain on cellular networks and following aviation rules that exist to minimize risks. Airplane mode beyond airplanes. Interestingly, airplane mode isn't just for flights. Many people use it in everyday life as a quick way to disconnect. At night, switching to airplane mode lets you sleep without notifications while still keeping your alarm clock functional. Some use it when they want to conserve battery in emergencies, since cutting off wireless radios dramatically reduces power consumption. Parents sometimes enable airplane mode on children's devices to let them play games without the temptation of going online. Even developers use airplane mode for testing apps offline. In a way, airplane mode is a universal tool for controlling connectivity, not just an aviation requirement. The future of airplane mode. As technology continues to evolve, the need for airplane mode may change. New aircraft are designed with even greater shielding against interference, and the growth of in-flight connectivity means complete disconnection is less relevant than before. Still, airplane mode will likely remain a feature for years to come, partly because it's convenient and partly because regulators tend to err on the side of caution. There may come a time when phones can seamlessly switch to special aviation-safe networks without user intervention. But for now, airplane mode remains the simplest and safest solution. Why it still matters. Airplane mode is one of those small actions that symbolizes cooperation between passengers, airlines, and regulators. It's a reminder that even in a world of personal technology, shared spaces require shared responsibility. While your single phone might not endanger a flight, hundreds of devices all ignoring the rules could create unnecessary complications. The rule exists not out of paranoia, but out of a commitment to layered safety in aviation, where even minor risks are taken seriously. Next time you're asked to switch on airplane mode, you'll know exactly why. It's not about some outdated myth of planes crashing from cell signals, but about keeping interference low, saving your battery, and making air travel smoother for everyone. Airplane mode is essentially your phone's way of saying, "I'll sit quietly until you need me again." If this deep dive helped you understand what's really happening when you hit that little airplane icon, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe for more breakdowns of the hidden technology shaping our lives, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Share this with a friend who always asks why airplane mode even exists, because now you have the real answer.